So welcome everyone. And I think for the sake of tonight's meeting, it's been suggested that we hold off on the mayor and council's reports till the next meeting. And then that way we're not running too late. Is everyone okay with that? Yeah, okay, good. So, any additions or prioritization of the agenda? No? May I have a mover and seconder for the agenda, please? Councillor Borneman, Councillor McCann. The council agenda for December 11th be approved as circulated. All in favor? That's carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? Seeing none. May I have a mover and seconder for the minutes, please? Councillor Horn and Councillor Borneman. That the minutes of the regular council meeting held November 20th, 2018 be approved as circulated. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Questions of staff? Councillor Keith.
Yes, Mr. Brown, I'm glad that you're back in the seat here, and I'm just wondering about snow cleaning. Where are we in not only snow cleaning, but in the removal of snow downtown? How's that sitting within our budget?
Through your worship, we've just started that event on Sunday night for snow removal downtown. We work Sunday night, contractor work Monday night, and I believe they're out there again tonight doing Seguin Street. We're still within budget because it's we're using up 2018's budget. We didn't use it all in the earlier this year, but they're going to be doing snow removal for probably most of the week, and I see that we're getting more snow on Friday, so our plows will be out again removing snow.
Any further questions? Seeing none, correspondence, Ms. Boggs.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So we have a lengthy list this evening. First piece of correspondence is from Chris Miner, Northeast District Manager for Union Gas. He sends his congratulations to Council-elect and reminds us of Union Gas's long-standing partnership in over 400 communities across Ontario, including the town of Parry Sound. That was circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to myself for follow-up. The next letter is from Norm Miller, MPP, Parry Sound, Muskoka. A letter of congratulations and greetings to Council-elect. Mr. Miller expressed his appreciation for all the hard work and valuable assistance and guidance and is looking forward to working with the incoming council. That was circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to myself for follow-up. The next one is Susan Pilling. She's an occupational therapist from a group called Closing the Gap Healthcare Group. And this fax is what came in and was sent to the municipality of McDougall as well. They are requesting consideration of including a portable person lift for entering a pool. And there was a letter attached to that from Tammy Land, who is a lady who utilizes such a piece of equipment in Huntsville, but is hoping to be able to do that in Parry Sound once the pool gets underway. That was circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to the CAO for follow-up. Julia Mader, who's a resident of town, her letter stipulates that she's not in agreement with where the splash pads should be located. Circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to the Manager of Parks and Recreation for follow-up. The second letter is also from Julia Mader, and it's a letter requesting a deputation before Council for December the 18th regarding the location of the proposed splash pad. Circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to the Clerk for follow-up. The next one is from Gail Burrows, who is the President of the Parry Sound Area Chamber of Commerce. She provided a year in review for 2018 and is making a request for funding assistance. That was circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to the Director of Finance for follow-up. And the manager of the chamber will be doing a deputation this evening with respect to that. Scott Allen, Lieutenant Corps Officer Pastor from the Salvation Army, Parry Sound, is requesting contribution for a new community response unit, which is a vehicle And that was circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to myself for follow-up. And Lieutenant Allen is also going to be doing a deputation this evening. The next one is from Jim Marshall, Chair of the West Parry Sound District Museum. This was dated November 21st when Jim Marshall was indeed the chair. And the letter was sent to Parry Sound. It's a request for a 2019 contribution to the museum on Tower Hill. Circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to the Director of Finance for follow-up. And then the last two pieces of correspondence are the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, watch file newsletters from November 15th, 22nd, and 29th, which is basically municipal industry news. Circulated to Mayor and Council and forwarded to myself for the e-agenda. And that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Next, we come to the deputation and presentation portion of tonight's council meeting. I'd like to remind the deputations here tonight that they have a maximum of 10 minutes each, including questions of clarification from council. Deputations are subject to the same rules of conduct as members of council, and that no one shall speak disrespectfully or use offensive words or insulting expressions against any member of council, staff, or another member of the public. And our first deputation tonight is from the Chamber of Commerce, and we have Christy Kafowski and Gail Burrows, President. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Christy. She's always taking care of me. Thank you, Council, for hearing us tonight. Welcome new councillors and Mayor and all of the returning council as well. This is my third round here at the Parry Sound Council. This is the end of my term of Chair of the Parry Sound Area Chamber of Commerce. And I wanted to come tonight to, of course, remind you all as well what a great year we've had. We've submitted, and I believe you've received, our year in review with all of our amazing achievements. I also would like to introduce you to Christy Kafowski. Polish girl myself, I should be able to pronounce that. But anyhow, Christy's been with us for just shy of a year. In fact, it was just after our last meeting with you last year that she joined us shortly after that. A few things that we're here to ask about tonight. One is for our continued support of a member of your team to be on our board. We've had Councillor Brad Horn on our board for a number of years, and we would like Council to further have representation on our advisory team. We'd love to have Brad back, but just making sure that if he wants to come back or not. And if he does, then just your support with council representation on our board. The second thing is our annual ask. It's been a couple of years since Parry Sound Council has awarded us financial help. So we'd like to ask again and hope that you would see supporting the business community in our way with our membership allows us to further build business in this community. It's got some great momentum with changes in your team as well, and we'd like to continue to work towards building a strong business community. The last thing is with our financial ask, we've tried to weight it in a way so that it's fair for all the municipalities we report to. There's 7 of them. In this way, the Parry Sound municipality is, or the town of Parry Sound, excuse me, is the largest ask from all of the municipalities, but we also have the most members from this municipality, as well as the staff that work in these businesses that we represent. So this last year, we've actually grown by 40 new members. So we've seen exceptional growth, the best and largest growth that we've had in the last 3 years. We are financially secure, we have money in the bank, and we're doing some great things to give back to the community and our members. So we thank you for your support. I'd like to introduce you to Christy, and she's going to further tell you what we've achieved this year.
Thank you, Gail. Again, welcome and thank you very much. Welcome to everybody who's in the audience, and thanks for hearing us. Congratulations to the council. We're looking forward to working with you closely in the upcoming year and years to follow. As Gail said, I am the executive director. I've been just shy of a year now in my current position, and I absolutely love it. And I would like to say that I hope that projects into the work that we're doing as well. We are one of the only entities that will support business in this professional manner that we do. We do advocacy, we do networking, we have a strong governance, and all of those things are very important to not only our membership, but the accreditation process that we just went through as well. This summer, we were up for reaccreditation, so that's something that we went through, and I was able to dive very deeply into our strategic plan, roles of directors, our bylaws, and our policies. And in that, we were able to support our network a little bit more after that process was done, because I had a better understanding of it. As Gail said, we are giving back. We're giving back quite a bit. We're able to offer educational, networking opportunities, as well as promotion for our membership. We've implemented some great strategies with our online website and social media as well, so that is supporting our members quite a bit. The year in review that was circulated to you does say that we grew by 37 members. In the time since I wrote that, we actually gained 3 more. So we're now up to 270 members that we support very strongly. If you want to take a minute. In this year in review that I'm circulating, it's just a brief pamphlet overview of what we've done. And to the right side of it, you'll be able to see all of our events that we had throughout the year. Everything that we did this year, as far as events was concerned, was done through the aid of sponsorships, corporate sponsorships, and membership involvement. So we're here again, obviously, for the ask for representation, as well as for the financial ask from Parry Sound, as we've grown significantly here in Parry Sound with our membership. Thank you.
Okay. Right, yeah. Any questions from council? Right, Councillor Horn.
Thank you. I've certainly enjoyed my time sitting on the Chamber Board. Thank you, Christy and Gail, for all the work that you've done to make the Chamber very relevant. So congratulations. The board, I know, has worked very hard over the last couple of years to bring the Chamber to outstanding membership of 270 businesses in the area. So once again, thank you very much. And I was just wondering if you could just mention your AGM that's coming up.
Sure. Our AGM is January 9th. That will be held at Meg Wallace's photography studio. It is a breakfast. It starts at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock is the actual meeting. 9 a.m. is breakfast and social. And this year we've had a really great response for our AGM. So we're really hoping that we can put everybody into that one space, because we weren't expecting as great of a response as what we've had. But I think that that's a testament to our work that we've done throughout the year.
Thank you. Any further questions? Councillor Keith.
Yes, I'm wondering if you could assist me a little bit. I noticed with this letter, unless I've misunderstood, there's also the suggestion of a funding formula here, and we're asking for consideration for the next budget. And what I'm not clear on is this formula that you term a fairness formula. What research did you do with other communities that are similar to Parry Sound as to developing a fairness formula? Like, where did you get that idea from, please?
That formula, there aren't very many communities that have Chamber of Commerces that have 7 municipalities they report to. So we didn't really have another municipality we could call on for advice. But where this formula came from was from our board. We had Chris Armstrong, who's the mayor of Whitestone, helped us develop the formula, and it was based on other formulas he had seen in his municipal experience, based on all the different things, the number of members, the population, and the tax bases of those communities. So that's where that formula came from. We felt it was a bit fairer than what we had done traditionally, which was go to each municipality with a ask that we had really no background as to, we just whatever we felt we could get. So this was a little bit more of a formula to help with that.
Yep.
Just have one other follow-up. In respect to that information that was presented there, it certainly gives a list of municipalities and a wished for amount for each community, and the Parry Sound one is highlighted there. But I didn't notice there was breakdowns of percentages in each other area, but there was no breakdown in the last section. Are we supposed to just kind of figure that out on our own mathematically? I just wondered why we didn't get a percentage breakdown, because we did get it in the other column so it could be clear.
So, oh, at the end there. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know, this was formulated, this is actually from last year, last year's ask. We chose not to adjust the numbers, even though our membership has grown quite a bit. We chose not to adjust those numbers for this year. However, the percentages at the end are, we should have done the percentages, but in your year in review, you'll see what percentage of membership there is, how many members we have in each municipality.
I think what it is it's weighted 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So the first part, the assessment is the 1/3, the membership is 1/3, and then the permanent population is 1/3. But I could ask Chris for clarification on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it all came to be. You're welcome.
Any further questions? Seeing none, thank you very much. Have a good evening. Our next deputation is Lieutenant Scott Allen, and pastor of the Salvation Army Rainbow Country Church in Parry Sound. Welcome. Yep, you got it.
Thank you, Mayor McGarvey, and congratulations on the council's re-election and election to town council, and thank you for inviting me here tonight. As Mayor McGarvey mentioned, my name is Lieutenant Scott Allen. I'm the Corps Officer at the Rainbow Country Church, the Salvation Army Rainbow Country Church. Now, the Salvation Army is an international Christian church that began its work in Parry Sound back in 1887 and has grown to become the largest non-governmental direct provider of social services in the West Parry Sound District. And the Salvation Army gives hope and support to vulnerable people today and every day in Parry Sound, the surrounding communities, in over 130 countries around the world. The Salvation Army offers practical assistance for children and families, often tending to the basic necessities of life, feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, and supporting people who have lost control of their lives due to an addiction. In addition to this, the Salvation Army in Parry Sound is a proud partner in emergency response, on call to care for the needs of those displaced in emergency, and hydration and nutrition of first responders. Now, for the Salvation Army in Canada, it's a 100-year tradition of caring in this way, and we don't take this responsibility lightly. Unfortunately, it's become evident that we must replace our current community response unit. It's well over 17 years old, and while it has served this community well, it is no longer a reliable vehicle with reliable systems, and maintenance, repairs, and excessive wear and tear have shown that it has become cost prohibitive to continue to operate it much longer. Now, there are two significant programs operated through this community response unit. And the first is to provide support services to first responders in disaster and in emergency situations such as wildfires and weather-related emergencies, while caring for those displaced. And now such situations call for a vehicle that is reliable and meeting today's standards and needs. And the second significant program being cared for through this vehicle is to provide community outreach at local events and to provide community members with hot meals on a weekly basis. In fact, as many as 100 community members are served from this vehicle each week. The new community response unit will be outfitted with the tools required to be a reliable source of support to the Parry Sound community and even neighboring communities. Parry Sound, with its team of trained volunteers, is a secondary lead within the Salvation Army's North Region Emergency and Disaster Services program, supporting communities that don't have canteen service during a crisis event. Now, to make this new vehicle a reality, I am inviting the town of Parry Sound to get behind our fundraising drive. In total, we are looking to raise $130,000 for this new vehicle, and this will allow us to purchase the unit, along with other important assets such as emergency vests, new food containers, and provide additional training opportunities for our members. I've included some photos to show the kind of vehicle we're looking for to obtain, and I don't know if you've circulated those photos so you can see what we're talking about. It's a Ford Transit style canteen van versus what we have now, which is sort of a Winnebago type of an RV unit. So we are hereby requesting a donation from the town of Parry Sound for $15,000 for this new vehicle. So thank you for your consideration of this matter, and we look forward to your response.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from council members? Councillor Keith.
Yes, Lieutenant. What I'm wondering is two things. One, will you be doing this presentation to other municipalities besides the town of Parry Sound?
I have submitted a letter to the Township of Seguin, Carling, McDougall, and I think that's it, yeah.
And have any of those municipalities responded? And also, is the percentage, like, is there a formula that you figured out for other municipalities, or are you asking basically the same amount of money from all municipalities?
With the ask for the other communities, I didn't specify a dollar amount, so it's totally up to them. The Township of Seguin has a donation request, and we just left that part blank, so whatever amount that they could donate to us, we would be happy with that. So yeah, we do have a memorandum of agreement between the Salvation Army as well as the West Parry Sound municipalities for provision of disaster relief services. Bylaw number 2008-5260 is for Parry Sound, but we also have for the neighboring communities as well.
Councillor McCann and Councillor Horn.
Thank you for your deputation. Two questions. The price includes everything, the stoves, the fridge, and the whole kitchen sink.
It does. The $130,000 includes all of that.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Mayor, I'm wondering maybe if we could put forth a motion to have this added for consideration during our budget for 2019.
If you'd like. Seconder. Councillor Keith. Any discussion on the direction? All in favor? And that's carried. That will go to the budget process.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Horn.
Thank you for your presentation, and certainly on behalf of Community Living Parry Sound, thank you for the support of the people that do visit the vehicle every Friday night. So thank you once again. My question is, do you have a hopeful time frame of purchasing the vehicle and a delivery time and being operational?
So our budget year ends March 31st. So we're hoping in the next fiscal budget to have a new vehicle. So the vehicle takes approximately 6 months to outfit it. So by the time we order it, say we order it in April, So October, November of 2019 is when we're hoping to take delivery of the vehicle. Yeah.
Anything further? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. Our next is, we're on with the rest of the agenda. So we have item, oh, okay, I guess we have a couple minutes actually left. I guess I was rushing things. But we do have a couple minutes left, and if anyone would like to make a deputation for a minute, the floor is yours. No? Okay. Very good then. Item 941. Moved by Councillor McCann, seconded by Councillor Borneman. Whereas the Council for the Corporation of the Town of Parry Sound approved resolutions 2014-030 and 2014-228, approving signing authority and credit card authority to members of council and certain members of staff. And whereas there has been a change in the CAO position, and whereas there was a municipal election in October 2018, resulting in changes to the members of council. And whereas there are no changes to the position or authority levels at this time, now therefore be resolved that Resolution 2014-030 be amended to remove Rob Menz, Chief Administrative Officer, and Councillor Keith Saunier, and that Resolution 2014-228 be amended to remove Councillor Jim Marshall, and further that Clayton Harris, Chief Administrative Officer, Councillor Vanessa Backman, and Councillor Roger Burden be added as signing authorities. Any discussion? All in favor? And that's carried. Go. Moved by Councillor Borneman and seconded by Roger Burden. Councillor Burden. That bylaw number 2018-6882 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of 5 four-year lease agreements with RCAP Leasing Incorporated for multifunction copier equipment and 5 four-year maintenance agreements with Near North Business Machines be considered as read a first time. All in favor? That's carried. Are all members in favor of having the second and third readings? Carried. Moved by Councillor Borneman, seconded by Councillor Burden, that the bylaw above mentioned be considered as read a second and third time, passed, signed, and sealed. Any discussion on this? Nope. Oh, Councillor Keith, and then Councillor Borneman.
I was just going to suggest, I think this should be explained to the public what we're doing here, so maybe Mr. Forrest could explain.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. We are up for renewal on our photocopiers, and over the last 2 years, it was my goal to try to standardize the replacement schedules and increase our buying power across, through the request for proposal process, and that's exactly what we did.
Perfect. Thank you. Anything further? Councillor Borneman.
So are these the latest, greatest gadgets out there, and how long are they going to continue to be the latest, greatest gadgets, Mr. Pengra?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Latest and greatest, it's hard to say. That's such a moving target. They're good machines. We've done due diligence and checked recommendations and references. They should fit the bill very nicely.
Councillor Keith.
I just want clarification. It seems to me some of this equipment is like a 5-year plan. Is that what we're basically talking about there for replacement, sir?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. That's right. In the past, what we had done is a 3-year replacement cycle. What we were finding is we weren't getting the mileage out of it, and we were leaving a lot of useful life left on the asset. So 2 years ago, we actually extended the contracts for all of the machines in the town office and the fire hall for an additional 2 years. And yeah, I think that was a very good move. We saw some savings by doing that. But now we're to the point where it's time. We photocopy an awful lot, and I'm optimistic that we'll see reduced printing levels as we try to do more paper conscious efforts. But that's that.
Okay. Anything further? No? All in favor? And that's carried. Moved by Councillor Keith and seconded by Councillor Backman that bylaw number 2018-6883 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of an off-site parking agreement between 7 Church Street and 36 Gibson Street, Allen Downing, and the Corporation of the Town of Parry Sound to be considered as read a first time. All in favor? That's carried. All members in favor of having the second and third readings? It's carried. Moved by Councillor Keith and seconded by Councillor Backman that the bylaw above mentioned be considered as read a second and third time, passed, signed, and sealed. Any discussion? Oh, sorry, Councillor McCann.
Thank you. This is for Mr. LG. In reading this particular report, I noticed that there's some circumstances here that allow for what you're doing. Perhaps maybe we could let the public know exactly why we're allowing the extra parking with the adjacent land.
Certainly. Through your worship, the premise of this provision in the bylaw is to provide flexibility to property owners in the downtown when they're doing residential renovations, allowing them to park off-site and not having to go through cash in lieu of parking spaces or go through a full zoning bylaw amendment. So it's a much easier and lenient of a process while still serving the same objective.
Follow up?
Yes. The properties are adjacent to each other, do I understand?
Through your worship, pretty much. There's a small separation, but they're within a snowball's throw of each other.
Again, just for the public's interest, how far apart can they not be before we couldn't allow such a provision?
Through your worship, the maximum distance for this provision to be effective is 250 meters.
Okay, great, thanks.
Anything further? No? All in favor? And that's carried. Moved by Councillor Keith and seconded by Councillor Backman. The bylaw number 2018-6884 being a bylaw to appoint Rebecca Johnson as town clerk and the head under the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act for the Corporation of the Town of Parry Sound be considered as read a first time. All in favor? That's carried. All members in favor of having the second and third readings? That's carried. Moved by Councillor Keith and seconded by Councillor Backman that the bylaw above mentioned be considered as read a second and third time, passed, signed, and sealed. Discussion. Councillor Borneman.
Well, this isn't directly to the topic, it's to the people involved with the topic. Mr. Mayor, I just thought when someone's coming, someone's leaving, so we should be thanking Ms. Boggs for her.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep. Yep. Anything further? All in favor? Oh, sorry, Councillor Keith.
That's okay. I had a question for Miss Rebecca Johnson.
Okay.
Yes.
Just gotta slide that over.
Yes. I thought maybe you would like to practice. And so my question is this: are you ready and eager to get going if you're appointed tonight?
Very ready, very eager to get going. Thank you very much, Councillor Keith. Through your worship.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anything further? All in favor? That's carried. So, I guess the first is to say, Rebecca, congratulations on the new position and welcome back. Because for a little bit of history, Rebecca was the clerk of the municipality many years ago, and so she's back now in this particular position. So congratulations and welcome. Now, I'd like to say a few words about Jackie Box. Prior to offering our congratulations on her retirement. While this is not her last day of work, it is her last day of serving as clerk for the town of Parry Sound and attending council meetings. Jackie came to us from the Township of Seguin's clerk department, where she worked from 2000 to 2008. She started her new role as deputy clerk / executive assistant for the town of Parry on January 5th, 2009. In recognition of all the clerk's duties that she was performing, she was designated as clerk in 2015. A number of provincial legislation changes affected municipalities made during Jackie's tenure, so she has been at the forefront of ensuring that the town and our council stays on the right side with issues related to closed meetings, integrity commissioner, council code of conduct and procedures, and freedom of information requests. Jackie has advanced the town's records management by leading a project to implement more consistent records management across the corporation. She has overseen 3 municipal elections during her tenure. After our 2000 municipal election, she saw an opportunity for potential higher voter turnout with telephone and internet voting. Our council adopted her recommendation to go digital for the 2014 election. We were part of a still relatively small movement of municipalities then, and by 2018 many more have joined the digital municipal election movement. So you could say we were part of the leading pack on that, and thanks to Jackie's initiation. When she finishes up on the last day of office, which is January 31st, 2019, Jackie will have served the town over 10 years and will have clerked over 200 council meetings.
I never thought of it that way.
She'll be joining her husband, Sean Boggs, in retirement, who previously served as McKellar's clerk administrator for 30 years. It's with gratitude and for this dedicated service that I do, on behalf of council and the town of Parry Sound, offer congratulations and wish Jackie all the best in her retirement. Now, before you clap, I want to say, Jackie, thank you, because with all the meetings that I have to attend and making sure that I'm in the right place at the right time and in the right hotel and on track, thank you, because it made my life a whole lot easier. Very much appreciated. Thank you, everybody. Give her a round. Yeah.
Oh, it'll be short and sweet. Thank you very much, Mayor McGarvey.
Pretty close.
I've had the opportunity to work with Mayor McGarvey since he and I first worked on the board at Community Living. We also worked together on the landfill site search and the recycling program, which is something I did before I started working at Seguin. So he and I have worked together for a lot of years. I always felt we worked well together. And I'm very grateful for what you said. They're very nice things. Thank you very much. I am looking forward to my retirement. I just want to thank all the staff that I've had the pleasure of working with over the last 10 years. We've got a great bunch of people here, and I think we've got a really good council going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, on that note, moved by Councillor Backman and seconded by Councillor Horn, that bylaw number 2018-6885, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council, be considered as read a first time. All in favor? And that's carried. All members in favor of having the second and third readings? Carried. Moved by Councillor Backman and seconded by Councillor Horn, that the bylaw above mentioned be considered as read a second and third time, passed, signed, and sealed. All in favor? And that's carried. So, prior to adjourning, I'd like to offer the following information to the public regarding the next council meeting. The next regular meeting of council for the town of Parry Sound is scheduled to take place at 52 Seguin Street in the council chambers located on the top floor. Public access to the building is off Gibson Street. The next regular meeting of council is Tuesday, December 18th. All regular council meetings are held at 7 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of each month, except January and August, where only one regular meeting is scheduled. Regular and special meetings are now live streamed. Please check news and public notices on our website at www.parrysound.ca for instructions to watch live or to see earlier council meetings. Agendas, changes to the council meeting schedule, and notices of special council meetings will be posted on the town's website at www.parrysound.ca under News and Public Notices prior to a council meeting. The public is also able to view an electronic copy of the complete agenda with attachments on the town's website. Just search Council Calendar and the date of the meeting. Should you wish to receive a combined agenda via email, you may make that request on our website or contact the clerk at the municipal office. The minutes of the council meetings will be posted within 2 days after the council meeting on the town's website and on the bulletin board located in the municipal office entrance. Your TV will continue to air the regular Parry Sound Council meeting on Saturday at 9:30 a.m. following a regular council meeting. For Cogeco listings, contact www.yourtv.tv. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.